All right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it took a little bit of... Unfortunately, these should be as part of the person. They assume, I think, the people importing these from Fantasy Grounds, that all this general equipment's in there. It's not. Unfortunately, you don't always get everything in there. But now we should have everything there. The chain shirt, I think we got Masterwork chain shirt in there, if I remember, under the items.
Didn't somebody take that, though?
Yeah, Aurora wanted that, if nobody else was going to take it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they didn't have it in there. Okay, so we'll put chain shirt. Hang on here. Oh, this is going to be fun. So they make me do all this. That's all right. We'll get it in there. That way we've got it on there. Eventually I have to do the Masterwork machetes. I say just use them as regular machetes right now. If there's bonuses, then, you know, just use the bonuses. There's a lot of stuff that they just didn't put in here, which surprises me. But we'll get them in. Alright, let's see. Armor, shirts, and shields. The Masterwork. Let's see what that does on there for that. Alright, Masterwork armor lessens the armor check penalty by 1, and it ups the cost of it by 150. Alright, so let's look at the chain shirt there. Chain shirts. There we go. Alright, so let's take a chain shirt and work that. And then that way you can pull it and drop it in there. Alright, so the chain shirt. There it is. Let's see. So this is armor, light armors. Cost to be 250 gold. Weight. The weight I think is affected too. Let's look there. Masterwork. Quality, damage rolls, all armors and shields on the... okay, so it doesn't lessen the weight necessarily. So the weight's still there. Only the mithril does that on that. So AC bonus is still +4. Maximum dex is still +4. The check penalty is only -1, which is really good for any of you. And then also they lessen the spell failure on that. Okay, so 30 and 20. I think that's it. Alright. The bonuses there. Alright. So Masterwork shirt is in there if you need to add that now to Aurora.
Alright, thank you.
Drag and drop. No problem. That way it makes it easy. Everybody gets their items. They can use it immediately and it'll help. Alright, so we've got everyone else back, or are we still waiting on Josh, Akish, and Adrestia? Not hearing from anyone else. Let's see. The XP for everybody for those battles with the 3 monkeys, monkey goblins, is, let's see, that way everybody can keep up with the XP on things. 600, so 140 XP apiece. If you guys want to do anything else while waiting on the others. Okay, so Keisha says back. Okay, XP noted. Good. All right. So we got 3 of our 5 back. All right, let's see who else. Okay, learning this beast. Yeah, it's once you guys have been through, a couple sessions, it goes easier. I know, especially with anybody who's used these type of programs, it just takes a little getting used to. There's workarounds for all of them. I'm not too worried. We'll learn it as we go, and I figure as the campaign goes, most campaigns last months. By that time, if we're not experts at this, I don't know. We'll be hurting.
How much XP did we get?
140.
Okay.
And I put in the items now. Again, the stuff that Adalynd found in the chest, she's got on her, but it can be transferred to anybody. So the silver dust, the diamond dust, put in the masterwork, chainmail. I did not put in the machetes yet as masterwork.
Okay, well.
But I can update those. Just use a regular machete. For the most part, it functions like a regular machete with the exception, the exceptions of being a masterwork. And you can note those in. And I'll get them in there and get the price. Unfortunately, as always, these modules only pull the really special items and expect everything else to be in, which is not the case. So, where do you enter the XP on the sheets? Let's see. On the sheets themselves, when you click on the character, you'll see the XP is, I believe, under the... No, it's not under notes. Inventory, maybe? They have it somewhere on here. They may not put an XP column. I don't think they do. Nope, they don't put an XP column. I would just put it under the notes, under one of the sections under your notes. So if you want to put it under maybe appearance or one of those areas. And then when you get to the right level, you just drag and drop another level of what you want to do in there. Unfortunately, once again, for what Sean was talking about, they got lazy. They didn't put an XP calculator column. But that's probably because there's 3 types of advancement with XP in Pathfinder. There's a slow, medium, and fast. And I'm guessing they probably don't want to mess with that and try to figure it all out. Even though you could do that and put a couple clicks in there, you could easily do it. It's not that hard. It really isn't. That's where it's almost nice to get a character sheet with the calculations. Hey there! We're just talking XP, 140 XP. I would just put it under notes if you want to keep an XP session under the notes, because unfortunately Fantasy Ground does not have an XP calculator on the sheets that I'm aware of.
I think that would be a priority because
Yeah.
I would think that it would be important, so if you were running an adventure, you could just say they defeated this such and such and such and such and just...
Oh, wait.
You would be able to put it... You would be able to say that the party got this much experience points, and then the program could split it among everyone involved. They
did put it, and I just thought of this. Click on what type of class and level you are. So go to your sheet and click on it. It opens the class and level. Now, with the slow XP, you can put the XP needed and the XP in there as you go. So let's see. Pathfinder slow XP.
I've been putting my XP in Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah, see? So slow XP to go to second level is 3,000 XP. So under the XP need, there you go. And there it is. I just saw Aurora. You just put hers in, so I got to watch that. So can everybody find it okay? Let's see. Yep. And then 3,000 there.
And you said the XP needed was... Oh, you just added it in.
Okay. Yep, there we go. So that's 300 there. Good, good, good. Sil, you got yours? Probably. Yep. Nope. All right, so 3,000 there. That was not 30,000. 3, 1, 2, 3. Come on.
Oh, we're both trying to write into
Oh, go
it
ahead.
at the same time.
If you're doing it, then you do it. All right.
Yeah,
good.
I just got here at the same time you did.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Then put in your 300.
we started with 250. We got 200 last time and 140 this time for 590.
Yep. Yeah, you have a little bit more. So all right, let's. Okay, so I think we got everything. Yay! Markale, you got yours in there addressed to you?
How do we get?
I will put that in shortly after I finish stuffing my face.
Oh, you're not allowed to stuff your face. Cut it out.
Aren't we at 340 for XP?
Yeah, but in some cases, remember, I'll award some other XP if you do something.
Oh,
if
okay.
You, so sometimes they'll be slightly off, not way off each other usually, but a little bit
Okay.
off.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget to write something down.
No, understood. Understood.
Well, at least Rick, you can add those manually to each character.
Yep.
So that you can do it instead of us having to do it. Makes it easier to keep track of.
Oh, and I will, especially when we're going up by the levels to the next level. I will put in the XP needed and everything else. So that's easy for me to do. All right. All right, and you notice that we did get our NPC in there, Adalynd. So you do have that NPC. Because I believe you are the one who had the NPC noble, correct? Or merchant? Benedict?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So he's up and ready there. Now, you can take control of him if you want. That's fine. If you want to do the ownership, just click the ownership on him, and he's yours.
Okay, well, I figured he's pretty much going to be staying with the boat.
Oh, yeah, in
So-
the colony in most cases. So,
Yeah.
you know, he definitely will. 50 on him, and then what's his next thing? Because again, sometimes the NPCs will go up with you guys as well, depending on the level. All right, but what that does by the reason I did slow is that lets you explore as much as you want of this island and the island surrounding. If I keep it to the regular medium, and you guys go off the beaten path and do more, then it's going to jack you up higher than it needs to be. So that's why I want the slow route, if anyone has questions on that. But it allows you to do much more. You can go off the reservation much more than I would probably normally do. And let you explore wherever your little heart's desire. Okay, so you're on the forge. Again, 3 weeks since this thing has been turned on, which kind of goes along with what you have found in the other buildings that each of you have been in. Just the dust, the wear, the little bit of molding going on. It just shows nobody shuttered these up, and so they're taking a little damage from the weather, but nothing horrible. But again, it gives you an idea of how long people have not been here. Inside the compound, you have several other buildings. You have a barracks building. You have 2 buildings that look like storage buildings. You have the chapel itself that hasn't been explored, and the governor's house itself that has not been explored. And that would be Governor Riley.
One person explored that.
You went through the big house. I don't think.
Okay, I thought that was the governor's thing.
Well, it's where he works and where he has meetings with the upper officials. Ryland Arky's actual home is next door to it. It's a little bit to the south.
It's the smaller building over there?
Yeah, by the big one. It's just a little bit south of that building.
Aurora is going to make her way over there immediately.
All right. So anyone else going to follow together, or are you guys going to fan out pretty much like you had before?
I want to go hit the temple up.
Markel's going to openly ask, are we sticking together, or are we doing the thing where I go someplace safe and you all get yourselves killed?
That one. Aurora says as she points to Markel. That one.
Iozef is like, well, you might be right. The way we're going, it may not be bad to stick together. Farah says, I'm pretty much open to whatever direction you want to go. I can go explore and hopefully not get killed. But safety in numbers.
2 by 2.
2 by 2. Or at least 3 by 3.
Alright, well, Syl would also want to go to the mayor's home.
Oh, that's right. Again, you made a good point on that, Josh, is that you should have 590, so people should have 590, because that's right. I did tell you guys to start at 250 XP.
Oh. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so my bad. Yes, you did have some. All right.
And Aurora motions for Iozef to join them as well.
Okay. So you got Iozef here. You've got Aurora. And everybody else. There is, let's see. That is yours, Miss Sharra.
I'd be bringing up the rear.
All right. And then there's that.
So, whenever Syl arrives to the house, she will check the front door to see if it is unlocked.
All right. So, who is going to be going? Markel, are you going with Syl and them, or are you?
I'd be going to the mayor's house.
All right. So you're going over there. How about you, Sharra? Are you going into the tracks or stick? It's up to you. It looks like they're sticking in 3 so far. So going with one of the other groups it may not hurt you. Depends on which one you feel most comfortable traipsing around with. What do you think? Mayor's house? Okay, so you're with the others, the mayor's house. All right, so let's start real quick there with the mayor's house. As you go up to the mayor's house, it sits by the gate that would open it to the farms, as you see going past it. This has the name Arkley carved into a sign nailed next to the door frame, and it's a log cabin style home, which you would expect, other than the one very nice building that's there that Syl checked on. This is more of a true log cabin style. The structure has 2 wooden shuttered windows. The windows are open, and the architecture is the same as most of the other wooden cabin buildings that are out here. And again, the name Arkley gives away that that was the governor's home. Or mayor. Mayor and governor. A little bit of both. All right. So who's going to go in first?
So we'll check the front door to see if it's unlocked.
It
Taking a
is.
step side away from the front door.
It's shut and has a latch that you can lever up. So basically, it would be almost like a door latching thing. So you pull up on it. It comes out of what looks to be a metal holding latch area, and the door swings open. Now, you do see on the other side of the door a more firm slot that looks like 2 wooden bars can be lowered. Or not bars, but 2x4s or whatever size they are can go across the door to bar it from invasion or protect whoever's inside. But they are not barred. And again, looks rather organized and tidy in here. It has wooden furniture, simple amenities, racks for weapon and armor. Now, in the weapons, you see what looks to be a very large weapon of sorts. It looks to be here. He has those. Let's see. It looks like a long sword, and it looks to be masterwork. Looks like there's a slot for another long sword there. Looks like something that could hold a large metal shield, but the shield's not there. And looks like a stand, mannequin-style stand that maybe holds some heavier armor, which would make sense. There's a boot rack with several sets of boots on them. One set missing, you can tell. And there is a modest dining table with what looks to be probably 6 chairs, 4 either side, 2 at the ends. One looks a little nicer than the others. It's a teak wood chair. So you're guessing it's the governor's chair. They do have makeshift cushioning on it. Yeah, exactly. There isn't looking like any signs of mucking around at all. Now, you can look outside the door for boot prints or anything like that, though it has been a couple weeks, Sharra. But if you make a really good roll, you may be able to pick up something. Or even here in the room. So you want to do a survival check. Survival. On that particular one. Now there is a brass candelabra that sits on the table itself. There was more than one set of tracks that came through, but you can't tell what kind of boots or... There's an outline a little bit, but most of it's gone thanks to the rains that come through here. But there was at least more than one set that led in here and then back out. There is a study he has in here. It looks like different types of books on survival, colonizing the colony, keeping records of the day-to-day, what was going on. And so... there is just enough dust to say 3 weeks, like the other building in here. Yeah, 3 weeks is a long time, and even the best trackers have a hard time tracking that. The notes talk about... Go ahead, that's a good point.
Yeah, especially after the number of rains that have happened, that does a good job of obscuring any tracks.
Is neither of the two guys from the ship came with us, right?
No.
Were we told who the mayor of the colony was? Or would I know because I'm an employee?
You have a
we were told. I've got it in my notes.
You have a feeling that it's Rayland Arkley is the mayor. He is a more military style mayor in background. He definitely was a veteran from some of the fighting that went on in Andoran. So he's fairly mid-level fighter of sorts. And he would have some of the documentation on the settlement itself and showing the legality of it. So you think you might find something like that here? Markale does. Because you have to have that to show that you are a legal colony and chartered to take over the area. And you haven't seen it sitting on any of the tables or any of the bookshelves so far. Though there are rafters in this building. And there is a bedroom in this building as well. And so there's rafters in each room. A cross beam. It's about 9 feet up that goes through the whole house in different directions. And meets at kind of a triangle, or almost a three-way meeting in the common room. There are some, but it looks like there's a shelf where the last few weeks' worth of reports is missing itself. His personal journal, maybe. He may have a journal in the other home. Again, the bigger building would be his work office, and Syl was in there. But remember, Syl, you got pulled aside and kind of distracted by the fact that there was something watching you that you now have in your possession.
Well, had it. She got bored with it and dropped it. She got bored with it and just dropped it in the smithy while everyone was in there healing up.
Oh, jeez. Okay, this could get interesting. All right. So in this building also, it looks like there's a clothes wardrobe as well.
Search in the pockets.
All right, in the pockets, you find a silver pocket watch and it looks like a rare kind of a timepiece that also
Any
functions
inscriptions on
as
it?
a compass. There's not inscriptions necessarily, but there is lettering from a strange language on the time face of it. And it looks very old. It doesn't look like something even in the age and the wear on it would be probably going on. You'd have to do an appraise on it. So that's the best way I could put it. It is not in the last 200 years that this has been made. So it's definitely
Okay, just pocket it for now.
Hello. Hey, Joe. Grandpa talking with the little one.
How are you?
So, does anybody have an appraise in your group?
Adalynd does. Markale, do you have anything worth praising?
I'm not terribly. I don't have any ranks in it. I ran out of ranks, so I can definitely try. I'll assist Adalynd.
Well, I'm not with you guys right now.
Yeah, I'll just pocket it. That's fine. I'll just pocket it. I'll just pocket it for now.
I'm here, guys. I'm just running a game over here with the friends, so Bug's talking with you.
Yeah, I'll just pocket it for now. It's fine.
Okay. All right. You can pocket it for the moment. She's bringing it over here. Sorry, guys. Hang on.
Oh, no problem.
Hi there. That's okay. If you want to take it, we were just here. Whoop, you just hung up on her. Too late. Go ahead and put it down, Bug. It's she's camera's gone. Hello? Yeah, she's gone, sweetie. Put it back down.
Okay.
There. All right, I'll set it there. Sorry, buddy. Munchkie got the phone, and Grandma was there, but she didn't hear her. All right, so skill appraise. Nope, you wouldn't be able to tell on that one. You think it's valuable?
Yeah, no.
You think it's very valuable? You guys going to do any other searching within the place itself?
If I do a perception, I want to do a perception check. I'll look in the rafters if they're. I can't climb up there, but I can
problem.
certainly look and see if there's
do the
anything
search.
hanging.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, you see something in the rafters. It is on a crossbeam, basically in the bedroom, his bedroom. And it looks to be like several sheets of parchment that are folded over and have sort of a symbol of sorts that you can't tell. The symbol is down towards you, but it's kind of partially hidden by the rafters.
So she goes back and she goes to Syl and she goes, "You, the one with the tail, are you good at climbing?"
And to answer your question, Sharra, no. It looks like if you stood on the bed, you'd have a good chance of at least reaching it, or if you had something like your bow, you could probably knock it loose from the rafters and let it fall. It wouldn't break it. It's parchment.
She says yes.
Markale claps her hands together. "Excellent! I thought you would be. There's some papers up there. Would you be a dear and go get those?"
As you're telling her this, you can hear something like somebody bouncing on the governor's bed. Roll Sharra a dexterity check, just a standard dex check. If you have acrobatics, you can use acrobatics. You don't have acrobatics and just use a standard dex check with the modifiers. Yeah, are you saying "we" out loud as you're jumping up and down? All right, so you hear "wee, wee." She's bouncing up and down. You know who it is. And she gets it. You bounce up there, and you're flying up, and you grab it, and come landing on your butt on the bed and bounce off.
Markale goes back and looks at her. So undignified, but effective.
Give yourself 75 experience points for doing that. That's beautiful. Bouncing on the bed to get it. I love it. Yes, you did, and successfully.
Sil just kind of glares at her with that, what are you doing with your life kind of look.
Now, the documents are folded, and they have an Andoran symbol of the Bountiful Venture Company stamped across the top of them. Now, as you can tell, the seal has been broken, but it didn't come off. It's a wax seal. It basically has been broken loose. It's still on the documents, but you can open the documents. And it is a legal document of sorts that you can tell just by the big words that they have on there. And what it's saying in part is that Andoran owns this as part of the outer colonies. It's both a venture of Andoran and the Bountiful Venture Company. And that the Bountiful Venture Company has set down the rights and responsibilities of each of the colonists. So their different jobs, why they joined, and who the colonists are. Basically, you see 50 names along with their skills for each of the original colonists that came over to Talmandar's bounty. And then what percentage of the you can see all of the 50 have shares in the colony and its success and will receive benefit from it as it is successful and profitable. And it seems to be in line similar to yours, with the exception of the governors and everybody else, which is a much higher share, as you can tell. And again, it gives you who's who, including Governor Arkley and the rest who are here. And you figure this would be good in case someone else tried to colonize the area. So that's that. But it is a valuable document. And when you were bouncing on the bed, Sharra sees something on the floor next to her. And it looks to be a book with a name that has a marking on the front of it that says, and you figure this was done by a spell, but it says Hendrake.
As Sharra asks that question, which one of us is holding onto the paperwork, Aurora, slips in, grabs the paperwork, and sticks it into her backpack.
Okay, that works. So just put miscellaneous paperwork, or I would put it as I'd call it the what would we call it?
The colony ledger sounds good to me.
Well, yeah, colony legal ledger. Yeah, colony charter. That's another good one. It could be either one of those. The book has a brass ring. It has leather outside, a really nice worn leather on the outside, and it looks like it has had pages removed. 9 to be exact. There's another 21 unfilled pages. Or actually, 29. And actually, no, I'm sorry. Well, let's see. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. There are 29 pages that have been used and 21 remaining. There are 10 of the cantrips that look to be a wizard's cantrips detailed, along with, let's see what the remaining are. 10 of those. And then there are 8 first level and 8 second level spells in there, contained in there. And we'll figure out what those are later on. They don't have them listed out. But basically, 10 first level arcane, 10 zero level cantrips, 8, and then 8. That's a very good question. And you find it interesting. You know why you find it interesting?
Why is that?
Well, think about it. Think about the background of Rayland Arkley.
Military, but that's magic.
Uh-huh. Why would a fighter have a book of magic? You find that extra odd.
And what is the nature of the spells?
Do we know anything about the mayor's personal life? If he was married, or what relationships he had around the colony?
He was not. From what you understand, he was a man in very good standing. He actually is good in general. He was a retired, semi-retired sergeant in the Andoran military, and he volunteered to be the governor. And, you know, from what you understand, he never did anything else outside the military. And the reason made sense. You want a military commander that could defend a colony if something were to happen.
Right.
Nothing else in this room screams arcane. Every other book in here is about military tactics, settling colonies, plants and herbs, different types of things that would make sense, things to avoid, poisonous plants. It's more on what you would think survival type information that a military officer would have.
Right.
That leads you to scratch your head and probably wonder, Sharra, is that maybe someone else was in here? But why would it be under the bed?
Well, perhaps we should keep looking around, and whoever has ranks in spellcraft should figure out what spells are actually in the book. That might give a clue as to what we're dealing with.
Okay. So, while you guys are doing this, Adalynd, where are you going to be going with
You wouldn't be able to do it untrained anyway. It's a trained skill.
Yeah, I thought I might have had it trained, but I was wrong.
Okay. So, Adalynd, where would you go with Iozef and your fine gnome?
Well, I think this is the temple that we're right next to, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. Yep, we're going to head in there and see what we can see.
Perfect. All right. Let's do this real quick. All right, we'll move that real quick. That was a marker there, so I'm going to move that over. All right. All right, so that right up there where I had that little marker was where the actual pulpit is. Going inside the building, let's see what you see. It actually is a very pretty building, considering it was made out of logs and thatch. It suggests a modest place of worship, not quite a temple, but more of a shrine. A table near the center of the west wall, which is where I had that little marker, serves as an altar draped with a white but dusty cloth. Behind there is several rows of benches near the altar that are around it, and scattered throughout the room are assorted objects related to public worship, such as chalices, ceremonial rod, and there's a really beautiful, ornately carved longbow that hangs behind the altar on display. Against the north wall is a small shrine. Nearby is a wooden statue that depicts a man half human and half avian. One carved wing hangs partially broken from the statue. And here, let me get you a statue for that room. I'll kind of zoom in a little bit and let's get out of this. There we go. Pull it over and see if I can't get you something there. Okay. Let's see, statue. Alright, so we will do this over here for the statue. And then the altar. Let's do the altar. There we go, I can use that there. That will be the altar right up here. All right. So that's what you see in the room. There's the altar, that, and then, of course, you guys are walking down what would be a set of pews with your other gnome rogue kind of skulking down to the other side. And you're picking that up off of him. You think that, yeah, he's either a ranger or a rogue of some sort, the way he's moving carefully. Right where the altar is where the bow is.
I would like to inspect that bow. Can I do a knowledge history check or something to see if I would know anything about it?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go up there and do a knowledge history, or even maybe with some of the symbols on that, a knowledge religion, whichever one comes in more handy for you.
Okay, I don't have knowledge religion, so...
You, surprisingly, with the history, are able to remember that one of the deities that is worshipped in Aveston, where you guys are from on the continent, is a god called Erastil. And Erastil, this is his symbol. That bow would match the symbol of Erastil. And most likely this is a sacred bow that is put up here for Erastil's blessing. The other thing that's there looks to be maybe an imperial deity or a celestial deity. And from your roll, you remember that Andoran venerates Talmandar, the angel, a celestial angel, hence Talmandar's bounty. And that's why the colony was named after this celestial angel itself. And that's where the broken winged statue is.
Does it look like it was recently broken? I mean,
a couple weeks ago. Dust says the same thing.
Okay.
Now the altar looks like it may, or the little pulpit looks like there may be a behind area where some of the worshiping implements are.
I'll go take a look at that.
Okay. All right, and Iozef is kind of coming up along this side saying, just be careful, as does your fine gnome. He's kind of hinting the same thing of the being careful, just because you guys don't know. Faradin is a little more reluctant. He has his bow up and ready in case, knocked with an arrow, as does Iozef have the curved blade up, just in case.
Okay, as I see them do that, I'll pull out my rapier and go back behind the pulpit and see what I can see.
He says, remember what happened in the smithy. He says, I don't want something swooping down from above us. All right, so you know that, all right, you look behind there looks to be dried blood behind the altar. Do you have a survival skill?
Yes.
All right, make me a survival check. All right. So, yeah, even with that, you figure something was dragged up to this altar, blood-wise. Either on their own ability or somebody dragged them up. You're not for sure.
Okay, I want to do a really thorough inspection then and see if I can see if there's a trap door in here, if there's anything written in here, anything.
Well, as you look around the altar, you can see that the cloth covers what looks to be a large box with religious carvings, and that it can be moved around as an altar. But it's pretty sturdy. Now, let's see. Faradin, actually Iozef will probably go first, even though Faradin is up there. He's going to do a perception check, just being the perceptible he is. Nope. So Iozef doesn't see anything. Let's see what Faradin can do for you. Alright, so let's go skills, perception. Yeah, Faradin goes, wait a minute. There's a hidden latch here. and there's a sliding panel that he kicks the latch, and as he does, you smell a stench of rot and death. And you see what looks to be a body of a long-haired man that has been smashed into this area, like somebody didn't want you to find him.
Judging by his garments, do I think it's the priest?
No, you don't think it's the priest, though you will need to do me a favor and make me a fortitude check from the stench, because it is just ripe. Let's see, where's the fortitude there? Ooh, Iozef is retching next to you. Over on the other direction.
I botched.
Y'all having fun over there?
Oh, yeah. Actually, that was Faradin. I'm sorry. Let's see, Iozef is... No, Iosef's fine. He's like, such is the rotted bodies.
Yeah, I back up and start puking.
I smelled worse at the only Taco Bell.
Yep. All right, so you guys will be retching for 2 rounds. So, as you two are retching over in the corner, Iozef goes up towards the bow to take a look at it. All right. At that point, do me, even though you're retching, do me a perception check. All right, you hear a noise. Now, you guys far away can try to make a perception check. It's going to be a way on the outside of whether you can figure it out or not.
Well, let's see what I can do.
It's coming from back here.
Yes.
All right, the 25. You can hear a noise coming from what you think is either back towards the smithy or possibly towards the chapel.
All right. Syl will casually move out and start her way toward the noise.
Okay. So, Markale, everybody do me a initiative check. Because that'll tell how fast people can get here. Let's see, there's him. There is Faradin. Which he's sick for 2 rounds with you. Alright. So, and then, let's see, on conditions, where is sickened? Yep, they're sickened.
I'm doing well today.
Sickened to...
Markale looks at Sharra and an Aurora as slowly as and goes, "Good, she's gone. This is my house now."
Oh my god. You're killing me. Alright, there you go, Adalynd. It factors in the effects of sicken, which sicken's effect basically let's see. Alright, yeah, you already have that. Alright. So basically, in a sickened state, here's what's going to happen. You're not in good shape, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see, Pathfinder. Sickened. Alright, so a sickened state and condition is... You will... take a -2 on attack and damage and save, skill checks and ability checks. So basically it's a -2 across the board, anything that's a D20 check.
Okay.
Within reason. Oops. Let's move that down, so there. Alright, who else? Did everybody roll their initiatives? Alright. Oh, Sharra didn't. Sharra, roll me your initiative. Even though you've taken over the house. You may not have, you don't have to follow anybody, but... Alright, so Adalynd, even though you're sickened, you can see behind you what looks to be this. Alright.
Well, that doesn't look good.
That. Can you see him okay?
No, that really doesn't look good.
Yeah, it looks like a very angry, see-through person that is lifting up what looks to be a worship chalice and plate and getting ready to launch them at you.
I'm gonna need that guy to simmer down now.
Well, actually, you can't see him. You just hear the, oh, and you hear him say in common, why? 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 That's about it. Iozef's like, oh crap. Alright.
Markel claimed the house.
Markel claimed the house. She's just going to be sitting there. Yeah. Sharra. I rolled a 16. So, 16, you wouldn't necessarily have... Well, that's initiative. Let's see.
No, that's her. Yeah, that's her initiative.
Still back to the perception. Still had that. The 15, yeah, you can kind of hear. The 17, you definitely can. And the 19, or 20, 19, you can definitely hear. The why? Drifting out the door and through where your guys' openings are. It's not being quiet for any reason, shape, or form. All right, so Adalynd... Go ahead.
Hey, Rick, does this thing sound at all remotely in any way, shape, or form familiar to Aurora?
Yeah, possibly, but you'd have to see more to
Gotcha. Okay,
identify.
and that's what I expected.
You're thinking not something living by the sound of the voice. It's otherworldly, almost haunting.
Perfect.
All right, so Adalynd. Sickened and all, what are you going to do? You're kind of stopping hurling for a minute and still feeling woozy, but you can see, and he kind of the thing that's floating over there kind of looks like the thing stuffed inside the worship altar. Definitely some familiarity without the rotting skin.
I will try to attempt to stand and say, we did not do this to you. What can we do to help put you to rest?
All right, so you're going to use bluff or diplomacy to try to work with him?
I'll say diplomacy. I'm not bluffing.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Not so hot.
All right, let's see. NPCs. Do Silas.
Probably isn't very effective since I'm retching as I'm talking.
Well, yeah, it's, retching is not a good thing, but hey, you do the best you can. All right, so a 9. All right, let's see what he's got there. Definitely hostile, just kind of ignoring you almost in your, state of being. Doesn't want to necessarily listen to you at this point. Let's see. Right there. Yeah, of course. All right, everybody gonna have to make a will save in the building here in a minute once it's their turn. All right, Syl, what you gonna do? You can hear the why. Josh, Syl. Hello, Syl. Earth to Syl.
Hmm? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's your initiative.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just, where am I? I believe I'm probably just right outside the building, right?
You're right in the governor's building. You're going to be moving out the door. You got to take 10 feet to get out the door, and then you can move your way down towards the temple.
All right, yeah, I'll do that. I'll just spend all my movement moving toward the temple. Noting any observations I make along the way, still intently listening.
It's a haunting. You can almost see a haunting see-through form from the open door. Something. It looks humanoid, but you can see through to see your companions on the other side. Even from that distance, you can see.
Okay.
All right, Markale, are you going to stay here and claim the place, clean it up?
Oh no, I already claimed it. It's my house. Everything in here is mine now.
So what
so I don't have to worry about it. So now that the other girls understand that this is mine, I trust that they will respect my home as I go out to investigate the rest of my town.
You get the haunting feeling in the back of your mind that you're forgetting something like, I don't know, the current replacement governor on the Peregrine. But for right now, that's
I don't get that feel. I don't get that feeling at all.
All right, so you're gonna head out the door and towards the church.
Yeah. I'll use the full round to take two movements towards it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see through the windows and everything else that are kind of unlatched open windows what looks to be a shimmery form that's in the front part of the temple. And you think you can see your friends on the other side of it. So you're thinking whatever it is, not fully solid.
Correction, my future employees. I see my future employees on the other side. Okay. Yeah. Dig it.
All right. So now it is Iozef's turn to have to deal with life's little pains in the rear end. All right. What is Iozef going to do on this one? This will be fun. All right. So Iozef, does he have anything? And does he... First things first, he's going to make a skill check to see if he knows what the heck it is. Do we have knowledge, religion? It's an unchecked or Yeah, we'll see how this one does. He can tell
he doesn't know what it is.
He can tell it's undead, but he doesn't know what it is, and it is see-through, and that's about all he can tell at the current point in time. What to do?
Build a fence around it.
Yeah, he moves. He moves to go in between it and Adalynd and Faradin, who are both sicker than sick can be. But he's not moving to attack it. He's just putting himself in between. All right. So that is his turn. Next on the list is Faradin. Faradin is just still yakking his guts up. Not feeling great. Not feeling like doing any actions or anything like that. He's trying to draw his Khopesh, but it's a futile attempt. He gets it out in his hand, but it takes a lot longer than he would suspect it would take him to normally draw it. And he's trying not to retch on it. Going, I don't like the looks of this. Alright, we are now to Aurora.
So she's going to cast Hide from Undead on herself. Touch on herself.
Okay.
And then she's going to do just standard move to start walking that way.
All right.
I'll let you move for 30 feet.
1, 2, 3.
When I tried to do it, I grabbed her.
All right, so it is now the creature's turn. The creature is using its ability. What is it going to do? Alright, so he is hurling the worship plate at Iozef. Not in a happy place. Alright. And you can see it just flies away from him and does not hit Iozef. Iozef is fortunate it does not hit him, though it does hit the back of the wall near the bow altar. He goes, You allowed it! You allowed it! Why? I trusted him! I trusted him. And everybody make me, except the ones not in the building. Everybody in the building make me a will save. All right. So you are frightened. It's just everything that could go wrong with one of these kind of critters is going wrong. So let's see. Let's move the frightened over. Yep, I can do that. All right. You're going to have a lot of fun with this, Laura.
Yep.
It doesn't look, again, he doesn't look like he is something really, really nasty. He just looks upset at life. Alright, let's see. Faradin, make your roll. Will save. And he makes it. So Faradin is retching butt. Made his will save. And let's see about my boy, Iozef. See how long Iozef stays in there with you. Alright. Is he going to be very full of will? Nope! Iozef is now in a frightened state. Oh, this is lovely. Alright. You guys might see Iozef sooner than you think. Alright. So you guys are frightened for 2 rounds also. So you're sick for 2 rounds, frightened for 2 rounds. And frightened as a whole. Let's see. Frightened.
I posted it in it looks like you try to flee, you take a -2 pill. I don't know if it stacks, I assume it does. On attack roll, saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks.
Yep, and you're looking to get away. Is like shaken, except the creature must flee if possible. Yeah, panic would be worse, but frightened is just like, oh my god, I gotta get out of this place. This thing is freaking me out.
Gotcha.
Alright, so we are now past this creature to Sharra. Sharra the Brave. Alright, Sharra. All the things you find in an empty colony, right?
Robots, goblins, and ghosts.
Yeah, goblins and ghosts and things that go bump in the night. Oh my. Alright, double speed. So she's going to run. So she goes 1 out of here, 2, 3, 4. There. So you're running full speed. And you can tell this is probably where the worship went on. Though there's something green and very nasty not being worshipful inside. Alright, so Adalynd, you're trying to escape. Now, if the creature's blocking your way, oh, I love it.
So, I'll just be kind of backed into this corner here, I guess. I can't really go closer to it, I don't think. Can I, if I'm frightened of it?
No, you want to, you want to try to get away. Though I like what Aurora did.
Are there any windows here or anything?
There are windows. You can try to get through them. they look like they're
try and get through a window and get the heck out of here.
So try to use your. You'd use Escape Artist if you have it. If you don't have it, then use Dex.
Don't.
All right. So what? So you're doing a Disrupt Them Dead.
Dex check?
So Aurora, you'll have to do
No,
that
ignore that, Rick. That was accidental. I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, so Dex, you rolled, yeah. All right, so 4. You're trying to get out the window. It's right over on this side. You're running over there trying to get out. It's not working too good, but you are trying to get out. All right, I love it. And for trying to find that dude, get out of there. Give yourself the 25 experience for role-playing the fear. I'm out of here. Syl. You just hear more of the why? Why? I don't understand. We were friends. We were friends. And you can see another item rising up. It looks like a worship book, maybe, getting ready to get tossed.
It sounds like he needs someone to talk to.
Maybe.
Really, someone should really get on that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I tried.
Syl will. She's seen this thing affect her allies, so she doesn't want to get too close to it. She will get as close as she can and then maintain her distance.
Okay.
She will take out a javelin for the next turn because she would have had to spin the move over here. Anyway.
All right. So, Mark Hale, you can hear the cries. They just sound tortured almost. Like this poor soul just doesn't understand what's going on and the whys.
Do you understand what poltergeists do to property values?
Yep.
This is a problem.
Now you got to go in and deal with the poltergeist.
Well, even when you solve the poltergeist problem, the house just gets sucked into a vortex and disappears.
No, don't suck us in.
So she is going to go, let's see, 10, 20, 30. So she's going to go just to behind Syl. She's never dealt with a ghost before or anything like this. And so she goes over to Syl and she whispers, "Can I just burn it down?" And she doesn't take an action.
Yeah. She says with magic, yes.
No, I meant the church. So that's all she's gonna do. Like she's out of her element here.
Oh God. It is always fun and games until
all the party members that are in the building get burned alive.
Exactly. Oh, it hurts. It definitely hurts. So, all right, Mark Hale, you're done with your turn. Let's see who's next. I think it's Iozef out of fear. All right, which way is Iozef? Iozef's going, "Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!" He goes running and he tries to dive behind the altar. That's right there. He's working his way, even though the body smells horrendous, he is trying to hide behind the altar. Faradin. Alright, so.
Are they still second or are they better now?
Oh, the second will be after this round. The fear will be after the next round. But yes, they're still, yeah. So Faradin tries to shoot at it, but unfortunately doesn't do much good because he doesn't have things that can actually affect it. So the arrow goes through where he thought would be a great shot and into the wall. And he goes, "Oh crap, that is not going to work." Okay. So he puts down the bow and goes, "Yeah, not your enemy. Not your enemy." Alright, so Aurora, it is your turn. You can see Faradin is trying to make signs of, "Hey, not your enemy anymore," after he shot at it and sees it go straight through.
Well, first move. 10, 20, 30. Up there.
Okay.
Uh,
You wanted to try to see if you can do a disrupt undead?
no, it's too far away. It's a 25-foot range. That's why I was trying to read the spell so I could see the range on it and double-clicked it on accident. I was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, 25 feet plus 5 feet per 2 levels. So if you're 3rd level, you could definitely reach
Yeah, I
something.
can come close. Let's see. Okay, I've still got the hide from undead on, which is great.
Yep. So
very
it doesn't acknowledge you, even though others will be coming up. It'll be a good thing. It won't acknowledge you. Don't you love cantrips?
Yeah, they're great. They're fantastic. Just kind of yells at Mark Hale, "Don't you dare burn that house down or burn that temple down. In the name of Milani, don't touch the temple." And promptly reverts back to running essentially towards there.
You can see the ghost head literally turns around as if it has like no neck action. And
Oh,
looks at
actually,
you.
wait, I can, since I'm not doing an action other than speaking, I can run, can't I? So I can go
Yes.
double my movement speed.
Yes, yes.
So 10, 20, and 30 puts me at the entrance, right?
Yep. He goes,
Okay.
"Burn the place for all I care. Hypocrite! Hypocrite! I am in here because of a hypocrite."
That's all I can do on my turn.
Yep. He isn't too happy. So, basically, the creature is throwing what would be an equivalent of a Bible at you with a 9. So you see flying past a little what looks to be on parchment paper with a binding, Erastil's tenets going past you.
Past me?
Yes, and landing
Oh, it couldn't
on the,
see me.
on the
It couldn't
ground.
see me.
Oh no,
It couldn't.
That's true. It couldn't. So it's going towards. Actually, then it would have been going towards our druid, as she sees it land in front of her on the dusty things. Make a perception check, Sharra, to see if you know what this is as it goes flying by.
No, there's no reason to be rude, darling, just because you're dead.
Ah! Not a happy camper.
Imagine.
Ah, that would have been a perfect one. You seem to see an E on the book of some sort, but then it rolls over and you miss what the name of it is. But you do remember that this was partially devoted to Erastil, this temple. And then he just turns back towards the other group. His head spins around with those glowing green eyes. "Tell me what you know! I must know why! I will know." Alright, so it is your turn, Sharra, in round 2. Ah! Frustration out of this thing. Alright, going to Sharra. But you can see things are rising up, guys, in the building, like worship implements. The statue that was behind the altar that looks to be, which, again, Sharra, when she gets close enough, can take a perception check to see if she notices the statue and what it is. Yes. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. And you can see, take a perception check, a passive perception check. Sharra. And then, Aurora, you can do a religion if you have a knowledge religion to see if you know. Oh yeah, Sharra, that looks like a very nice carved wooden statue of Erastil that he's getting ready to hurl at somebody.
Yeah, I don't have it trained, so I won't roll.
The reason I keep nudging Sharra is she is an Erastil worshiper. This is her goddess that is being insulted here. You can take a shot. Ah! Still staying back, very, very smartly staying towards the back.
Yeah,
Right.
she has one of her javelins all ready to hurl it whenever she has the chance. Not that it would do much if it was incorporeal.
No,
Still.
no. You know the whole incorporeal thing.
Well, I do, but she doesn't.
No. Most people don't. Is immune to all non... Yeah. Base, so, yeah.
The only way we could harm it is if we had any spells or someone prepared the magic weapon spell and used it on someone. But I don't think we have any of those. So.
No, nobody here has a magical weapon that you know of. Masterwork maybe, but not
Aurora
magic.
would have the capability if she didn't already use her judgment for the day.
Yep. Yeah, Sharra fires and thinks she should have hit dead on as Faradin ducks out of the way going, whoa, don't hit the gnome, don't hit the gnome. And your arrow sticks in the wall. Now, you do notice when you saw the statue, there is a beautiful bow behind the altar that if Sharra might get to, you think is probably the holy item of this temple.
Yeah, I was going to try and grab for that my next turn.
Yeah. All right, so we are on 3, which the sickened is gone. Let me get rid of the sickened.
Yay.
All right, so only thing that would be... Oh, don't take her from that. Her... Hang on a second. It would figure. All right, so put Adalynd back up there. Adalynd goes first. Adalynd, what was your roll? 21, I think. Yeah.
I think so.
All right. Sorry.
That's all right.
So Sharra, for some reason, you're at the end, but I don't see you rolled. Did you not roll your initiative, Akisha? Because it doesn't have anything on the initiative.
She rolled a 16, but she may not have used the initiative.
She didn't use the
macro.
initiative, so she'll get to go. I'm sorry, this round she'll get to go higher up. That'll come in handy because that means, I didn't see, so my bad. So you'll get to go before the dead guy this time, which will be good. All right. So Faradin doesn't have the sickened. Let's go to conditions. Get rid of the sickened. That's what I did wrong. All right. So everybody's still frightened this round. Let's do the frightened for... There we go. So one more round, Adalynd, as does Iozef. All right. So we go to the top of the order, and that puts us to Adalynd. Adalynd, what you gonna do?
Okay, that bow is on the wall next to me. Are there any arrows by it?
No, not at all. There's just the bow.
Okay,
but you do see
I'm gonna take
Sharra, and you can make a recollection check, which just a wisdom plus your bonus, to see if you remember that Sharra worships, or if she told you she worships Erastil. Because that in
What
her...
was the check you needed?
Just a recollection, which I just call it a wisdom, a flat wisdom check. So use a wisdom plus the bonus. Click the dice on the wisdom and... Nope. In your fearful state, you just want to grab the bow. Now,
Well, I was going to grab the bow and toss it to Sharra anyways, just because she's an archer.
Okay.
And she might have arrows.
See, silver... silver has no effect on incorporeal undead. Only
all I
magic.
have are bolts. I
And
can't
magic
use
is magic is 50-50. Is all it is. 50% chance it'll hit, 50% chance it'll miss. Now his disrupt undead that Aurora has is very different. That will affect it full on. Any type of that type of stuff will absolutely, as will channeling. Yeah. It is.
Well,
I mean, 3/5 silver would have affected an incorporeal undead, 50-50, I believe.
Well, the normal spells that just do damage will do half damage. Won't be like a 50-50
Right.
chance unless it has like an effect on it.
Correct. unless, and this is something you guys don't know, there is one type of magic that full on affects it. So, yeah, that one. Unfortunately, that edition allowed silver to, and normally silver does affect corporeal undead. In fact, it's really good to use against it. But when it comes to the non-fleshy kind of squishy, then yeah, it doesn't do too well. All right. So, Adalynd, you grabbed the bow. Are you going to try to throw it?
Yeah, I'm going to try and throw it to Sharra.
All right, so throw it. And Sharra, I'm not going to cost you a round action. Just make a roll to catch it. 15 or better. If she throws it to you and she does a 15 or better, you just roll a 15 or better to catch.
So that would be Dex, maybe?
Yeah. Use a Dex. Oh, God. All right, so now you gotta. Yeah. You can do acro. Acro will help you on this one. You're going to have to do a 20 or better because she was off. Normally it's a 15, but because it was a 5 and it was really it didn't go well. All right, let's see what you got. 10. All right, it basically hits you in the hand and goes past you and drops. So you'll have to use a move action to pick it up next round.
Sorry, I tried.
It was great.
I'm scared to death over here, man. I can't handle it. It's too much for me.
And give yourself 25 experience for thinking about her and throwing it to her because she's the archer. Instead of using it yourself and trying to whack them. Play whack-a-mole. Syl, what you want to do out there?
She'll try to toss her javelin at it.
Okay, beautiful.
So, whether it hits or not, it'll just go straight through it, assuming it's...
Poor Faradin's like, no, don't. Too late, though. And you're thinking, ignore the damn gnome.
Yeah.
Faradin's trying to find cover. Because everybody's throwing everything at the creature, and everything keeps passing through. All right, so roll. Now, if you roll enough good to hit, you might hit Faradin if it's a fail, a real bad fail. A hit would just put it in the wall. Nice job! Roll to confirm this. You might put Faradin down. Nice! Oh, you're epic. Give yourself 50 experience just because you epically confirmed almost killing your friend. I love it. And for what you are, that works perfectly.
I'm in 50.
Lower guard, you provoke attacks of opportunity from all threatening foes. So you'll provoke the AOs. It basically misses him, but just barely. It tears through his cloak. He goes, crap! As he's diving to the ground prone. Oh, that's greatness. So, Mark Hale, you can see the debacle that is combat going again. Syl, who normally hits pretty fluidly, just about pegs the gnome, Faradin, who agrees with you in philosophy.
So I am going to... Let's see. So he is saying, why, right?
Why? Yeah. He's like, wait, no, wait. He's diving.
No. The ghost.
One? Yes, he just, his head's now spinning around going, why? I don't understand.
So she's going to sense motive.
Okay.
To see if she can ascertain if he's confused or what's really the nature of his discontent.
Good job. 50 experience to you for trying to figure out why he's upset.
So do I get a sense that he's upset that he's dead, or is it a particular cause?
A particular cause. Maybe a person that he trusted. You get that vibe that he's just confused. His body's here in the church, so it kind of gives you an idea who, a possible who, might have done it to him. Because there's only so many people that would enter a place like this. Even common worshippers and be able to find a place like that and stuff the body.
Okay. So she's going to say, you're right. What an awful person. Let's get revenge on him.
At that point, you see the skull stop spinning and turn and tilt to look at you, almost quizzically. Yes. Yes, you understand. You understand betrayal. I trusted him. I trusted him. And here I am. Why? Why am I here?
Will he stop fighting, or is he still hostile?
Yes, the thrown objects are now just hovering. He was
Okay,
going to throw
good.
the statue at Adalynd, and you can see it just stopped, and as he's looking at you.
Okay.
So yes, you have gotten him to stop for the moment. All right, Sharra.
I nudge Syl, like, okay, now you go do a thing.
Now you go do a thing. All right, so Sharra, what are you going to do? It's your turn. Since you rolled a 16 originally, you would be here at this point. God, I love you guys use skills. Continue doing this and role-playing it. I love it. You make it the GM a happy.
Happy GM, happy life.
It is, isn't it? Things don't tend to go... Nah, it shouldn't anyways, but it tends to go much better when you have happy GM. Especially
I'm more concerned with the fact that you're rolling well, so I just need you to,
Oh, yeah.
I need to appease the dice gods so that they stop giving you good rolls.
Well, let me tell you what. Today I've got 1 critical, and then you guys have got 3 critical failures. I love it. 1 the GMs, 2 the players. I'm like, what kind of day is this day? Critical epic fails. And yet you're still alive. It's a good thing. All right, you grab the bow, and then go ahead. Now, you notice something as you're firing. It has a symbol of your god on the bow hanging off. And you're thinking, what could this be? Now, anybody religious can take a look at this bow and try to figure it out by the appraise. You can try to, Sharra, but unless you know a lot about religion, it's much more difficult. So, roll to hit. And then tell me high 50 or low 50 for a miss. Nice little sneak in there, Josh. That was pretty good. All right. Yeah. So high. And that was for miss or for the hit? Okay, hit. Okay, good. So the low is a miss, so you got a chance of hitting. And you do. So you can do damage if you hit. Oh, okay. No. Let's see. I'm sorry. It's not 50% chance of affecting. You do get to affect. It's just half damage. Okay. So you will do damage to it. It's just half damage. So nix that. It's for spells that it's a 50% chance of hitting. Because I'm reading the Incorporeal. It's 50% chance of affecting an Imperial creature. So, yep. Roll it. +1 for the attack. Yes. Use a +1. Yes. Correct. Correct. Nice. So you do 2 points of damage to him. I know it's not a lot, but it's still damage. Alright. You can see the arrow slices into him and he screams, "Ah! Nasty, nasty one you are." Not like the other one. Not like the other. It is a long composite bow which gets a +1 strength damage added to it too. It's a +1 reliquary long composite bow. That's why hitting with it is real nice. It's a holy weapon of sorts, being it's a reliquary. Okay, so +1. There you go. That's what the bow is. Yeah. Alright, so she hits. It's Iozef's turn. Iozef is still hiding behind there, trying to figure out what to do. Let's see if he can make his perception check here. For Iozef. Being panicked and all. What are you doing, Bugdy Bug?
Nothing.
Nothing? I always love a nothing. Alright, perception. There we go. Come on, roll for me. Why are you not rolling? Alright, so he does not notice the vial of holy water sitting next to him.
Can we see the scraps?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and use the thing to go to the scrap things. You got the little control. Janet, look.
Can you do it?
No, I can't. You can do it with the control thing. Just move over to the bonus stuff. That should let you do it. Play around, you should be able to find it.
Which bonus?
Here. Alright. Hang on real quick while I click her deal movie on. Alright, here. Gotta move over to here. Oh, that ain't it. You can find it, sweetie. Here.
No, I can't.
That may be it. Can't guarantee anything because of my angle. All right.
Daddy?
Yeah, it's the Neil deGrasse. The weasel.
Daddy, that's not the one.
I know. I'll have to find it in a minute, sweet thing. All right. Railed at me and also growled in return. Yeah, exactly. You did growl in return. So he is just hiding behind there for Iozef. So let's go to the next on the thing. That's Faradin. Faradin is running to get behind the pews because he has nothing he can do, and so it takes you to Aurora.
Beautiful. Okay, so many options to do. I don't know. I've been sitting here like reading all my different options, going, "Holy crap, this is so perfect."
Oh, and by the way, your hit points. What's your fast heal rate?
No, that has stops at the end of combat, so that's why I haven't added it back in.
Okay, all right.
I've been keeping track. Let's see.
Yep.
10, 20 puts me right next to the thing, right?
It does. So yeah,
Okay.
keep that in mind next time, Akeisha. That way, when you roll a D8 for the damage. You're welcome to re-roll it. and add in the 2, because you get a +1 and a +2 for, so it'd be a D8 plus 2. Yep. So yeah, you're right, almost in touch range of him.
Okay, so at that point, I can obviously see it. The question I have is: are these objects still floating, or since Markel, basically spoke to it, or has he begun swirling around in anger and pissiness?
They dropped because he was concentrating on them as poltergeists do, and so yeah.
Okay, as I'm right next to him, I'm going to drop the hide from undead, so he finally sees me, which he hasn't up till this point.
Shock look on his face.
And staring at him with the sternness of gaze, I tell him, "Stop this madness right now. In the name of Milani, you will stop this, and you will return from whence you came."
Wow.
As she's pulling out her holy symbol, rose flask thing.
Nice. So
not using the holy water, just holding it up at him.
All right. He goes, "Why? Why? It was one of the Holy Order who did this. Not your order, but the order. Betrayed. I feel betrayed. Why should I stop?"
Let us seek vengeance on your behalf, and let us right what has been wronged.
All right. Do your diplomacy.
Can I use Intimidate in this case? Because I did kind of yell at him.
Yes, you can use Intimidate. Yep, that would be...
Perfect. So this is going to have a +2 to it on top of what I'm about to roll.
Nice.
So 17.
So, you see he stops for a minute with his eyes smoldering. And he goes, "Why? Why do you stop me? He doesn't deserve it. He just doesn't." He goes,
do I get to respond, or do we go to the next round?
"Father Felton, he let it happen. He let it happen. And then it all happened." He goes, I tried. I couldn't. I wasn't strong enough. They left.
We all respond, or...
Yeah, are we done combat then now?
Combat for the moment has died down. I'll still keep everything up.
Markel, she says, "You're right, darling. That awful Father Fulton made... what was it that happened again? I can't remember."
Roll your... If you're going to do a bluff, you can do a bluff, or you can do whatever little heart you want to do on a diplomacy or bluff. All right, so bluff. Okay, so his sense is not very strong. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, he gets a +1, so we'll see how well he does here. All right, you've been talking his language, so, oh yeah, that's beautiful. He says, it started with the villagers disappearing. You should know this. He goes...
I know, it's been a long day, darling.
He was my friend. I served here. I tried to help, but he changed. And then they all left. Raylan took them. He told them to leave. They left. They left me. I was frightened. I didn't know what to do.
And Aurora speaks up, and who are you again?
I am Silas Weatherby. I was a farmer here. I trusted in the faith. I trusted that Erastil would help, but no help came. He says I snuck into the father's worship place where he kept his holy robes and vestments, where you found me. And I died. I starved because I was frightened. They left. Why did they leave?
I don't know why they left, but we are not they that left.
Who? Who are you? Why are you here?
We're here to right the wrongs.
Make a check on that.
Well, that's not incorrect.
Oh no, it's not incorrect. So that would be more of a diplomacy, or however you want to take it. But again, you are trying. Ooh, you are trying to move him. Remember?
Absolutely. No, it'll be
starts
diplomacy,
hostile.
but she gets a bonus to diplomacy in this case. It's a +2.
Okay, so 11
Yep.
it was 2 steps off of what he rolled, which was a critical fail. You have now moved him to non-hostile.
Nice.
Maybe.
So tell us everything you know, so that we can right the wrong that's been done to you.
I don't know much. I know that they started acting strange. The whole village did in time.
How long ago was that?
I don't know, weeks ago. Months,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
He says it started with a few. They just quit being who they were. And then there were more. It's almost as if they changed. And slowly, he said all the village changed. And now there are none. None! I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. He says I should have gone with them, but I was frightened. They weren't acting well at all. And then the father, we could go to him, we could talk to him, but he changed. He advised following Rayland, despite how strange he was acting. I do not know why this happened. And he kind of goes quiet, and his eyes burn a little less bright.
Aurora turns to Sharra. Are you able to release him?
Go ahead, Sharra. Are you there?
Before Sharra releases him, Markale is going to ask, "Oh, darling, I completely understand your pain. When you say people were acting strange, do you mean they were getting more violent, or were they perhaps
Yes.
not buying as much? Oh, more violent, huh?
More violent. He said, Raylan was my friend. He was our governor, but he was my friend, and he tried to kill me. It's why I ran. I did not want to
that's
leave.
unfortunate.
But he would have killed me if I did not.
Aurora kind of, as Sharra has not spoken up yet. Aurora kind of looks over at Iozef and, makes the intention, the motion of, "Are you able to release him?"
Possibly. He kind of says possibly. He goes, there are ways.
Okay.
He says, we know where his body is. We can do much with this.
Yes. Agreed.
And then let's see, not his most forteed thing. Ooh, that was a good roll, though. As an untrained.
Is he still under the effect of fear, or would the fear be done
No, the
there
fear's
too?
gone now, so I can take the effects off of...
So that would have been an actual 17 then.
Yeah, okay.
Or no, that would have been a 19?
Yeah, that would have been. You know with a poltergeist that you have to lay their body to rest. From what he explains. He goes, we must put him to rest. Alright, let me take off these. Let's go into conditions. Get rid of that. Get rid of Adelyn's effect. He goes, he is confused and angry. I think we must, like most spirits, he says, we must help him have peace. He has a question. He said, we'll lay him to rest body-wise, but he will come back again. He says, unless we can answer his question of why Raylan did what he did in a way that he can accept, I do not...
Aurora pulls out the spell book that was in the mayor's house and says, I believe this is why. And just sets it down.
Raylan
Doesn't
looks
say
at it
anything
for a
further.
second, and he goes, he did not cast spells. He was a
No.
fighter. Why
but
would
someone
that?
did. This was in his house, under his bed. She kind of says, looking back at Markale and the others.
Maybe he was not himself.
Markale shrugs. Well, that sounds obvious, darling, but you said that they all left. Where did they go? There were no ships at port.
He points out towards the shoreline. He goes, this way. Boats. They left by boats.
Okay.
He said, and some this way. He points to the center of what looks to be the island. He goes, some went that way with the father. I don't know why. I cannot fathom.
Okay. We will make you a promise. We will do what we can to find the answers to your questions. Or your question. What we ask and what we demand is that you stay here and you do not cause any more violence or harm to come to any individuals that may pass through.
This is fair, he goes. Fair. If you return and help me to find rest. So
Markale sees this as an opportunity, and she eagerly kind of skips up to the church, and she goes, well, now that you're a friendly ghost, I was wondering, where exactly is your house?
he points out towards the road. He goes down towards the end of the road on the right. He goes, I was in the larger home down there. That is my home.
Perhaps we can find some reason why you're the only person here and not, insane.
Aurora also pipes up and asks a very quick question of, out of curiosity, did you guys manage to have a bountiful harvest?
Some, he said. We had problems.
Did you write down your findings about agriculture while you were alive?
No, he said. He goes, there were things that dug up and ate the crops, and others tried to harm us. He describes them somewhat to you. They were creatures that looked almost like praying mantises, but had legs and heads, and they burrowed up from the ground. So, give yourself 50, Syl, for keeping in character and not being the one that's too inquisitive or whatever. Those in the room, if you've got a survival skill or a knowledge nature, you can make rolls to see what he's talking about. "21. He is talking about ankegs. Or small ankegs, i.e. the larvae. Or nymphs, as they're called. Among the crops.
Here I thought ankeg nymph was some kind of weird cross species.
Nope. It was something accidentally
minute.
leaked by the GM. But deftly handled.
Markale tilts her head, and she's like, wait a minute, those are magical. What are those doing out here?
He says they're part of the island. We found many creatures that were around here. Rest, he says. I must rest. As he starts to fade some. Iozef's like, I think we should take the body, gross that it is, and take out anything else in this worship area and kind of shovel it into a grave and consecrate
Agreed.
it.
Agreed.
Sounds
I'll
good to
help you
me.
with that, Iozef.
So, you guys take it out, as yucky as it is, wash off afterwards, and are able to bury him towards the back of the chapel, near the wall. And
Markale is going to sit on the porch of her house. Yeah, her new house.
While they're burying the body, Aurora is going to take a moment to sprinkle just a very tiny amount of the holy water from her flask on the body, just to cover anything. She's been around enough of this to know better.
To know better, yep. All right. So what you guys find after you get the body out of the worship thing is that there are also There are two sets of ashes that were underneath, and one of the book looks still intact. They were leather at one time. One says The Parables of Erastil. The other book's cover is burned, but it looks like, looking through and thumbing through it, this was On Government, which was a political treatise written in a poetic style, talking about Andorran's people's revolt and the sparked Red Revolution in Galt, where both rebelled against Taldoran rulership. So the treatises of Erastil are in good enough shape that it only singed the cover some. The other one, yeah, you wonder why. You think maybe that might be the missing book that was missing from the governor's place.
Can I take a look at that one and just kind of thumb through it and see if anything seems off or unusual about it?
Sure. The Revolution one, no, it actually talks really in depth about what happened in both. How both revolutions occurred, how one was successful, and one has just turned into a perpetual bloodbath that continues every so many years. And again, it looks like something that a military governor or somebody of that sort, or someone that is higher up in rulership, would read. The treatises of Erastil would be more something that the father would have read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one, it looks like more of a worship manual with just a few of the insightful prayers to Erastil for different things. Looks like more like what would be a church, not a hymnal, but kind of a thing between a hymnal and a prayer book. So, depending on, hang on here, let's see. Let's see if they've got it under the items. Don't do that. Let's see. ER. I'll have to put those in later under the items. But I will put those up here so you got them at least in the item thing. So let's see what the two ones are. That way you guys have got them. And then we'll probably, unless you guys have questions, start to wind down from here for the day. Okay,
and have our characters sleep for a change?
Oh yeah, you could probably do that. Government and Parables of Erastil. Parables.
Would you say that, is it like the middle of the day, or is it like towards the evening?
It is getting towards evening time. I mean, the ship should be fine until you guys send word otherwise. And let's see, +1. Holy reliquary bow of Erastil. I can hear a kitten. Is there a complaint?
Yeah, I don't know what she wants.
Yeah, she just wants to tell you she's not happy at life. So
I don't know. Maybe I'm not paying enough attention to her.
Yeah, you know. So, all right. You get 200 experience points apiece for Silas, because you laid him to rest, at least for now, and yeah, it was recoverable. You can pull that out of the wall. It didn't do too much. It didn't sink in too much. So, but 200 more experience apiece. And you guys should be doing pretty good here. God, for some reason this is not working. Not enough memory. Alright, let me do a save real quick. And then I'm going to bring it back up. Let's see. Save. Alright, campaign save. So I'm going to save that there. Just do an unlock and lock. Oops. And then it went down. Of course it would. Alright, so let's see if it comes back up to let everybody do everything. Sorry about that. Sometimes it gets weird.
Yeah, it does that. You'd think with all these updates that they always have for it that they would fix some of these issues.
They don't. It's the same error that happens if you do something just wrong and it freaks it out. It just doesn't. It does almost a dump. It's like, I won't save anything. I won't respond. Now they claim it is a memory issue on RAM. I don't buy that because I've got 24 in RAM. It should run just fine. It's not a memory allocation. They'll say, well, it's too big of a picture. Yeah, it might be. But even that's kind of pushing it. I don't buy the excuse on it. I think it's they don't know.
Java inherently can only utilize up to 3 gigs of RAM at most. They have to add additional arguments, and I doubt they've, again, being lazy coders, I doubt they've gone in and added the additional arguments to allow it to utilize more than that.
I would agree with you. I tend to agree.
Even with 24, I mean, even if it's only utilizing the 3, that may be turning it into sluggishness there, too. Plus, it's Java, and Java has memory leak issues left and right.
Oh my god, Java does.
You gotta love it.
Yay, we didn't have to kill the undead, which is really surprising considering it's Aurora, but that's okay.
So you guys can actually put in the stuff. It'll work. Because I tested it on the NPCs just to make sure, and it works.
I'm sure she would wish that she could lay down to rest more undead in non-violent ways.
Yeah, I mean, again, you guys...
You just gotta schmooze them up.
Aurora? Oh, no. Aurora would be is totally on board for the violent putting them down. That is not an issue for her whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then you got to ask yourself. You're hearing all kinds of different things. I think this is the first thing you guys got to talk to anything to understand what's going on here in the colony.
Yep.
But you do know at least they walked off that Rayland had something to do with it, as did the good father. And that Rayland tried to kill Silas per Silas's. Now, again, mind you, this is a haunting, so a haunted, tormented spirit. Accuracy possible. I mean, you caught sincerity off of him. But then again, what does he recall? And how does he recall it?
Yeah, and an angry, vengeful one as well, which always tends to twist it slightly.
Yep. So I'll have to put in, let's see, I'm going to have to put in the reliquary bow and all the other things there. So I'll work on that today. So that way, and I'll leave it up for a little while if you guys want to log in later and see if you want to get those items. Now, the 2 books, you can put those in because they're not necessarily going to do anything. So just type whoever wants to take the Parables of Erastil. Just put it under your inventory. And then the same with the On Government. What eventually they'll do is they'll affect some skill scores when it comes to different things. Like most books do. If you take the time and study them, you get better on your skill scores. But yeah, you guys have now, at least in the major part of the town, looked at all to the south wall. You guys haven't gone up to the barracks, and you guys haven't gone to the storage places where they store the equipment, as well as for work in the colony, as well as the food. So those 2 things you haven't explored, and then of course all the farm area outside of it.
And we know that there's on kegs towards the south.
Yeah, and again, the question has become, do you want to explore everything and then make sure it's cleared out for the people before you bring the colonists in, the new colonists? Or the good thing is you got the charter and the name of all the original colonists, which will be helpful for the new governor. and it will help her a lot.
The new what?
The
Yeah.
colony legal charter. I got it.
Yeah, because
It's-
again,
it's in the waterproof.
Ramona Avadanth, the one that I showed you guys, it was the good-looking half-elf with the
Oh
brown
yeah,
hair.
I'm just saying that
She's going to be
finders
replacing...
keepers, losers weepers.
Well, she's
Well,
going
it's
to be
in my
replacing
bag, so
Arkley.
good luck
Yeah,
with that.
exactly.
Oh man, never mind.
She'll
Oh,
be
it's
replacing
good people.
Arkley as the leader of the colony.
Yeah, and Aurora had already planned on that, which is why she pocketed that book as quickly as possible and made sure that Markale did not get her hands on it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Aurora did
Untrustworthy.
tell Ramona before they left, I will take care of it and I will keep an eye on her, and she's done exactly that.
Yep. So
How dare you? How dare you?
So basically, all these uncovered ones are the ones you explored on the southern side. You've got 4 on the north, and then you got a whole bunch out in God's country. But yeah. No, you guys have done good. And again, where you see some of the circles out there, those little circles, those are what look to be maybe holes in the ground. Or points where they're going to drive things to make a bigger stockade. Yes, sweetheart.
The scratch.
Okay, angry one. I will get you the scrat at some point. The mind of a 7-year-old. Daddy, scrat. I love being a dad. There is humor. So, all right. 2 weeks. Is everybody looking good in 2 weeks to resume?
Yeah.
Yeah,
good to
that
me.
should be fine.
Okay. Let me know
Yeah, I
if it-
should be back from San Francisco by then.
Oh, wow. You're going to San Fran. What takes you to San Fran?
Dreamforce. It's a convention for a cloud software company called Salesforce, and they have this big,
Yeah.
stupid convention. And my company is sending me out there because we're doing a big Salesforce project.
Oh, Salesforce is good, but I'm sorry you're having to go out for that kind of... But it's San Francisco, so you're
No,
gonna have some
it
fun.
looks like Dreamforce is stupid. It's like a big stupid party. Metallica's going to be there. Apparently, MC Hammer's going to be there. There's going to be food trucks airlifted onto the top of a building. I don't even understand what's going on.
Oh my
They have
God,
too much
that's-
money.
Yeah, Salesforce, well, it's been around forever. I've used Salesforce. It has its uses. It's pretty darn good. The database is really good. But, yeah, it's a lot of money. But then you pay a lot for it, for the licenses. It's
Yeah.
not cheap. It's like LinkedIn. Don't be surprised if LinkedIn's doing similar stuff.
Yeah.
Because I've got a free account with them, and they're now charging, if you want an account, I think it's like $1,000 for a registered account, or $500. That lets you like talk with people in networks. So if you want to meet people in your industries, like other IT professionals or other engineers, that's how you do it. And they also have job finding and everything. So LinkedIn's come a long way.
Yeah.
So that's wild.
So I should be back Friday, which means that I should be back Saturday. So
Oh, geez.
that's why I think I'll be good.
You should post up some of the pictures here of these bands and stuff when you're out there. That would
Oh
be
heck
awesome.
yeah, man!
Yeah, Parables of
Yeah.
Erastil, Sean. Yep. So, and then the second Erastil book would be Erastil's Tenets. And it's just a simple worship book, is all it is. Now, you do know that one of the ships on Talamandar's bounty is an Erastalian priest. The half-elf is an Erastalian priest. His name is... Yeah, you guys got a few different people. It's Eamon, E-A-M-O-N. It's the blonde half-elf. And then the guy he fights with is Curvis. And Curvis has the gray hair and kind of a bowl cut. He's the Abadarian priest. So, that'll be fun. And then you're going to BlizzCon. So when's BlizzCon? It's in October?
Yeah, November. So it's November 2nd
Okay.
to 3rd.
God, that thing's huge. That's as big as Comic-Con out in San Diego, isn't it? Or bigger?
Yeah, man. I think it's probably, I don't know if it's bigger. Maybe about the same size?
I was gonna say and you always see the costumes because everybody goes out there and wears the costumes of the characters. I always see that, and it's like all the cosplayers under the sun go out there and cosplay.
Yeah, you can get it's a big competition for the Blizzard cosplays.
God, that's amazing. Well, see,
Yeah.
it's funny. I've been invited out to a couple things. They try to get me out to what's the one that's the big gaming con that's out in Maryland. There's one that's out that way.
Is it Otakon? No,
Yeah.
that's an anime convention.
No, it's not Otakon. It's not Dragon Con, but it goes on the same time as Dragon Con does.
Gen Con?
No, is it Pacificon? No, it's not Atlanticon. God, it's based out of Maryland. It's huge. It's Chaotic Anarchy, who's on Twitter, tries to get me to go out there, as does David O'Steele. He's trying to get me to go out there. And they're trying to get me to Philly for the one that's a big one up in Philly, too. I'm like, guys, I can't do that many a year. I'm going to be lucky. I missed the one in Columbus. I was hoping to get over to the one in Columbus. And then there's
you'll have January. They have, no. Origins was what you're talking about.
Yeah, Origins. And Kobold
Yeah.
Press wanted me to... one of the guys at Kobold Press wanted me to GM. I'm like, aye. He's like, oh, I was hoping you could. And I'm like, aye. He said, the money and the time. It's half the battle. I mean, I'm lucky. People are saying, you should go to Gen Con. I'm like, how in God's name am I going to afford that?
It costs a fortune to go.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to. I was at Gen Con, the last one that was in Lake Geneva. And that was so long ago. And I got to meet Gygax and a couple others there, but that was like moons ago. So I'd love to, but how do you afford them? I guess Cleveland's got a anime con that's coming up, I think, soon, don't they? In either October or November? So it'd be easier when Josh...
I feel like there's a con every month for something.
Well, there is, and what's funny is Sean, you and Josh are both in Texas. I guess Josh, you're moving up to Indiana eventually, aren't you?
Maybe. I've still not decided yet.
Okay. Well, if you go up that
No,
way, it'll be
it's-
easier for trying to get to one. I know, Akeisha, you're out on the East Coast, right? On your case.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, though, if there are a lot of just anime conventions that are based in Dallas because, in the last few years, I found out that Funimation is apparently here in Dallas.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Good did I. Until recently.
Yeah, I know Akon is big down
Yep.
there. I don't know of any other ones.
I've been to ACON 2 different years. It's fun. I liked it better when it was in Dallas.
Everything looks
They moved it to
Yeah,
Fort
there's
Worth.
Its headquarters is in Flower Mound, Texas.
everything red and blue.
Yeah, that's for 3D, sweetie. Those are 3D glasses.
Can I?
You can keep them. Go ahead and keep them.
What? Can I keep the shark point glasses?
Sure, I can get you those. If you want those. Mommy will probably have fits, but...
Yeah, I've already been to that area as well, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's ACON's a lot of fun. Then Anime Fest I've been to once. And that one's a lot of fun. That one, and then they used to have a Texicon, but I think they still do, don't they? Josh, have a Texicon? And they got a couple, I know, Sean, down your way. They got one in San Antonio.
Well, they have here in Houston. They have Anime Matsuri, which is the
Yeah.
big
Oh,
anime one,
yeah!
and then they have Comic Palooza down here, which is
Yep.
the big con down here as well. I've been to both, and they're pretty good.
Yep. And then Laura, up your way, there's a couple of them, I think, in New York, up in Buffalo, and maybe, Syracuse?
Yeah, Queen City Conquest was this weekend, and let's see, Fan Expo Toronto was last weekend, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was a big one. I remember seeing a lot of things going out about that one.
Yeah.
I mean, they got so many. I know both Wizards and Paizo are like every other weekend or 2 weekends at a con of some sort because there's so much going on. And then I know, what was it, GM Andy gets to a lot of them. You know how she does it. She actually signs up with the companies there to run the games and show the games off to try to help sell the games. So if you ever want to get to some of these cons, that's one of the way you do it. Contact the game companies, tell them you will, and a lot of times you can get free passes, free full passes, and sometimes they'll comp your room. Which
Yeah,
is,
a lot of
nice.
people around here go to Gen Con that way. They have a big party bus that they rent every year,
wow.
and they go and work for, I don't remember if it's Cobalt Press or... I don't remember who officially runs the D&D at Gen Con. Most people here will go and they'll run so many games and they'll get free room and board and free passes.
That is so awesome.